All right, hey there. Mrs. Hutton here. Wanted to throw together a quick video for you to watch on your own regarding sewing buttons, okay? I'm going to show you the steps on sewing the 2-hole button and shanking the button. The 4-hole button will be the same exact technique. Only difference is instead of just passing from hole to hole here, you're going to pass from hole to hole like you do normally. Then you're going to switch directions to the other 2 holes and do the exact same thing, okay? So, of course, we know we need our thread, okay? We need our sewing needle, and we need to thread it. If you need to use the threader tool to help you, you can definitely do so. The threader tool is the one that you are going to put through the eye of your needle, okay? And then you are going to push that through and put your thread through. Once you get it, take the threader tool off, and then you'll proceed with knotting it as you normally do. I have my needle and thread. It is already knotted right at the end towards the what? That's right, the tail end, okay? The end of our thread, those 2 pieces of thread, when we double strand knot, are called the tails. All right, I have a 2-hole button. I'm gonna put it up against my black sweater so you can see it. And then I have my needle and thread ready to go. To begin, I'm just going to start on the side that I designated as the back. Obviously, when you're doing a project, there will clearly be a front or a back. With this scrap fabric, I picked this side, so I continue on this side since I already have a 4-hole button and a 2-hole button attached. So I'm pulling it until my stopper, okay, which is my knot, catches on the back. All right, there it is. Once I'm done there, now I grab my button. I'm going to take my point of my needle and put it through either of the holes, okay? It doesn't matter which one to start. I'm gonna pull it all the way through as I'm holding it. Get the button right up against the fabric. Give it a pull. It should always pull all the way before we move on to the next motion, okay? Just like when we're doing our stitches, we want it nice, flat, and smooth, all right? So I'm through 1 hole. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through the 2nd hole right across. Pull it all the way through. It's nice and flat and smooth. And I'm going to literally repeat that motion 5 times, okay? So I'm now going to come from the back, find that first hole that I started with, right there, pull it through, okay, till it doesn't go anymore. Go right across, push it through, pull it all the way back through, nice and smooth, okay? That's 2 times. All right, round 3, okay? 3 times, all right? 4 times. And 5 times. All right, the button is pretty good at this point. Well, we have one more step before we can say our button is completely secure and so that you get full credit when we do our project. It's called shanking the button, okay? So you are going to do the exact same thing you just did as if you are going to go through and pass through another hole, one of the openings on the button. Instead, from the back, I'm gonna flip it, you're going to take your needle, bring it through, okay? Bend your fabric down, and the needle is going to come up right up against the button. Instead of going through the hole, you're going to pull it up under the button. All right, so now my thread and needle are right under the button. So it's no longer on the back, but it is now on the front, but it is literally right under my button, okay? We should never have stitches that cross over the button like this. Okay, that would be incorrect sewing of button, okay? All right, and we should never have our needle and thread that cross over our fabric like this. That means something got tangled up and you didn't do something right, okay? So all of our stitches need to be hidden by our button. Whatever size our button is, that's the amount of wiggle room and space you have to work with as you're working, okay? So everything that you do, you want to hide it right under, as close as possible to the center of that button. We do not want to see any stitches, okay? All right, so now that I'm under the button, you are going to let that hang. You're going to grab really close to the button onto your thread. I'm going to now get a close grip with my index finger and my thumb right under the button. Okay, I have good position. I'm going to go clockwise. Clockwise means you're going to the right. Just like if we were looking at a clock, the dial goes to the right. All right, so I am going to rotate 3 to 5 times around the button, really firm and tight at the base, okay? So at least 3, about 5 times. Once you've done that, guess what? You have shanked your button, okay? So from there, one last step, just like when we're stitching something, in order for your stitch work to be secure and not unravel, you have to what? That's right, you have to put a knot in it. Very good. All right, so you will need to take that needle and thread and bring it right back under the button and put it straight through to the back. Pull it, give it a little tug, and for those of you that remember how, I'm going to hold it up onto myself here, you're going to go ahead and cut it enough so that you have enough to work with. So you need at least a few inches so that you can tie your knot. So I'm going to get a little pair of my scissors and I will cut it so that I have enough to still work with. Put my needle down. Then I'm going to separate my 2 strands of thread and I'm going to cross them as if I was going to put a knot in my shoelace. Bring one down through the loop, pull and tighten right up against the fabric. Do that 2 times, okay? One more time, cross, bring the tail through the hole, pull and tighten to make a knot. Now I'm bringing my tails right back together, okay? They're meeting right back up. And I need to make sure I trim those down. We don't want all of this hanging from our project. Too much excess thread. So we are going to trim it so that it is nice and neat and short. All right, and that's what that should look like. All right, attach the button, shank the button by wrapping it around the base and knotting it on back. Once you've mastered that, your buttons are going to be attached and look fantastic. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. All right, guys, bye for now.